resident of the city ever since. You know, this is definitely home. I raised my daughter here. You know, found my success here, became a multimillionaire here. So very appreciative of the city of Atlanta, Georgia.
You brought up your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You raised your daughter here.
Mm-hmm.
I know you and I were talking earlier, and you had mentioned a loss, and you referenced that in part of your book. If you don't mind sharing a little bit with the audience that experience. I know it had to rock your world, but today I want to just talk person to person. Tell us a little bit about that. Share with us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, so I got pregnant with my daughter at 14. I had her at 15, and with that experience, my mom really didn't know what to do. I had hid the pregnancy from my whole family, so she didn't find out I was pregnant until I was 7 months pregnant.
Wow.
So my daughter actually spent the first 4 years of her life in foster care, and we were reunited after I graduated from Vanderbilt. And so when I moved here to Atlanta, you know, brought my daughter with me, and she, you know, this was, you know, her home where she grew up, you know, at. So she went to Grady High School, and, you know, she did a year at LSU, and then she got homesick and wanted to come back home. So she went to Georgia State, and she started working for me, you know, in hospitality and nightlife, and she ended up, you know, she started just, you know, kind of drinking a little bit more and experimenting, you know, with Percocets, you know, which is something that, you know, a lot of these younger kids are doing, people in nightlife are doing. And she had got a hold to a batch of Percocets that were laced with fentanyl. And so she ended up passing from an accidental drug overdose. And I actually, me and my ex-wife, we were the ones that found her. So, you know, yeah, talk about a lot of PTSD, you know, definitely from that experience. But yeah, so I lost her about 3 years ago. I lost her October 2nd, 2022. And it definitely was, for sure, you know, something that rocked my world. You know, before then, I tell people I had never even used the word grief. It wasn't even in my vocabulary, you know. I had never experienced losing someone really close to me, and so then for that first experience to be the person that was the closest, you know, person to me, you know, it was definitely very, very rough. You know, I had some moments of, you know, not wanting to go on, you know, not wanting to live anymore. And so it was difficult, you know, and it caused me to, you know, this location in general, I used to operate this location. I used to be seen here all the time. And when my daughter passed, I just could no longer do it, you know, because she worked for me. She did the social media. She'd always be in here with that little camera, recording everybody, doing everything. And so, you know, I even had to change up, you know, my day-to-day, you know, in my work. And it was, you know, it was and is, you know, still tough, you know, very, very tough.
Wow. One of the things that I like to do when I meet people, when I interact with people, is I like to find out where they come from. Mm-hmm. What it is inside of them that gives them the ability to, no matter what comes up, they continue, as the old folks used to say, keep on keeping on. Mm-hmm. For you to have accomplished all the things that you have accomplished up to this point is one aspect. For you to overcome all of the challenges that you have overcome. You say you graduated college when you were 20 years old. Mm-hmm. You entered college at 16 years old. Where does that come from? You know, we can talk about purpose, we can talk about destiny, we can talk about all of those things, but as a person, you have to make a decision every single day to get up and to execute. Where does that come from? Where does that drive? Where does that fire come from?
You know, they say it's got to be in you, not on you. You know, so I think I just kind of was, you know, born with like that tenacity, that spirit, you know.